Hey you all, this is Pastor Rob here, and I'm so glad to be back with you all. I've had some technical glitches over the last few weeks. Phone was not acting right, my PDA phone. I have one of those T-Mobile MDAs, very nice phones. Love it. Even has the slide out keyboard, but that gave me some problems, and then my laptop crashed and I ended up having to replace the hard drive. So it's been a while since I did one of these video blogs, but I'm so glad to be back. So much has been happening since we last checked in with you. A lot of things going on at the ministry. We're getting ready to launch some things real soon, in the next number of days. One of the first things is going to be is an online Bible study. So be looking for that before the end of November. An online Bible study, and then also eventually we're going to have an online church, and I'll be giving you all that information. For those of you on MySpace or Facebook, you know how to contact me and get that information. I also want to share with you that we're getting ready in January at our ministry here at the University of Central Florida, getting ready to launch a home ownership initiative. So, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes, and kind of how the Lord just in the last few hours just really revealed to us just where to go with that whole piece. Now, I know you wonder where I am. I'm actually sitting in East Orlando at a Steak and Shake. Yes, I'm at Steak and Shake, hanging out over here near the university, and just having a wonderful time. Just having some scrambled eggs. Didn't have the bacon, can't do the bacon. Didn't have any pancakes. Didn't want to do the pancakes because actually right now it's late at night, and so you know we don't want the pastor to be sick tonight. But I want to share with you a word for those of you who have been looking forward to us sharing with you. In Romans chapter 8, verse 28, it says, "All things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to His purpose." And as we were studying that text and the words in there, there's a word in there, that word together. The word together. And I really want to just share with you just for a few moments how the Lord really shared with me how that scripture really comes to life in our world, in our life. Because oftentimes we want to be in control of everything that's going on in our life, and we have different situations that happen, and some are in our control, but then there are those that are out of our control, and we try to make sense of it. We try to figure it out, how we can handle this, and then when that happens, another situation happens that's out of our control, and we again try to figure out, well, how am I going to do this, how am I going to handle this, and we don't like not being able to control the different areas of our life. Well, the word together there in that scripture, which says all things work together, the Greek word for that is synergio. It's where we get the word synergy from. Synergy is a bunch of different forces that come together, energy if you will, that come together and produce a greater force than those that are separate. And I gave the example of, I'm not much of a cook, but when I shared this with our congregation on yesterday, you'll need to get the DVD because I became Chef Carpenter Live. And so what we did, we had out there on the table a bunch of different ingredients for a cake. We had raw eggs, and we had flour, and we had actually we didn't have the flour. I forgot the flour, which you can tell what kind of cake that was. But we had eggs and sugar and cinnamon and oil and butter and brown sugar and minus the flour, of course. And anyway, and I talked about how if I were to take those raw eggs, not too many people would eat those raw eggs as they are raw. Not many people go around just eating spoonfuls of sugar. Not many people go around eating just plain flour. Not people go around eating plain butter. And so you have all these different ingredients that by themselves don't taste too good, not that appealing by themselves. But what I realized yesterday, that when we were sharing this, that when you begin to take the eggs, and you take some of that oil and some of that butter and some of the flour, if we had some, and the sugar and the brown sugar and the cinnamon and you begin to mix it all together, you start to realize that, wait a second, there's something else going on here. And one of the things that you got to realize is that once you mix all that together with the right ingredients and you put it together and then you put it in the fire, you put it in the heat, what happens? It begins to take on a whole new perspective, a whole new look, a whole new shape and form, a cake or a pie or something sweet, something that's a delicacy. Well, my brothers and sisters, it's the same thing that happens with all those situations that are in your life. All those different things are there, and you wonder, what does this all have to do? But that synergio, they all work together for a greater good. You got to say to yourself, with those situations that you know what I'm talking about, those things you're going through right now that you can't even understand why, and it blindsided you, you got to realize that those situations are all working together for a better good. Matter of fact, I told them, you got to say to yourself that I'm in the mix. I'm in the mix right now. All this stuff is working together for a greater purpose, for a greater end. And you know, and the Bible talks about the power that works in us, that synergy, that when we take those things that are in us, that we're working together, and the power of God that's in us, it all works together for a greater good. And I just want to encourage you that no matter what you're going through, don't trip out, don't sit up there and sit in a bowl of pity feeling sorry for yourself. Realize that you're in the mix, that everything is working together for a greater good, a greater purpose. Matter of fact, the reason why you're going through those things is so you can minister to somebody else out of those same things that you went through. I want you to stay in contact with me. I just want to encourage you this week. And go to my website, robertcarpenter.org, robertcarpenter.org, just like it's spelled, or hit me on MySpace or here on Facebook or wherever you can get a hold of me, and stay in contact. Get a hold of our newsletter, our weekly newsletter that goes out, because we're going to be launching some things. But I just want to encourage you that you're in the mix. All things work together for good. And if you love God, you don't have anything to worry about. You just got to go through it and realize I'm getting on my way to a greater glory. You have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye now.